and scarlet, adorned with gold, precious stones and pearls. She holds a golden cup filled with abominations and impurity. On her forehead is written a mysterious name, Babylon the Great, the mother of prostitutes and of the abominations of the earth. She is drunk with the blood of the saints and the faithful witnesses of Jesus. The angel explains the mystery. The beast represents kingdoms and rulers that oppose God. The 7 heads symbolize 7 mountains and kings. The 10 horns represent rulers who will receive authority for a short time and unite with the beast to make war against the Lamb. But the Lamb will overcome them because he is Lord.
What I was going to say on Quest Connected News, it talks about the Lamb there at the end part. What I was going to say in the on my show, Quest Connected News, also what International, with God and the Angels, what I'm reporting, and this is unseen, what I'm reporting from, maybe from Aboriginal point of view, maybe from there, what I'm reporting about the serpent, because I look on the radar and there's serpent in indigenous culture, rainbow, and in the Noah's Ark there was a rainbow also appeared in the sky after the floods, and after the floods where the rain damps it, comes down a bit and it's just a rainbow, and that's what happened. But what I was going to say is that harlot, Babylon the Great, I'd like to show you another video.
But the Lamb will overcome them because he is Lord of Lords and King of Kings. Those who are called, chosen, and faithful will be with him.
I was going to say on that, Babylon, I can't see another picture of Babylonian. I wish I can show you the Babylonian with
Hello, how can I help you? Can I get my phone deep clean, please?
with actually, I like to show people my.
Tell you the mystery of the woman and of the beast that carries her, which has the
I like to tell people
the beast that you saw was
my Babylonian, what I feel about Babylonians. I just feel, you know what, I feel I've got Babylonians on quest because as Babylonian family are in the Bible. I mean, they might come in with New Testament and put Babylon the Great, but in the Bible there are Babylonians family that are Babylonians. Whether they dispense like abroad, we don't know. We don't know that. But whether they've been dispensed abroad, but we don't know that. See, that's the mysterious things about Babylon the Great. And I'm trying to look at a Babylon video where it identifies a woman. I'll rather show people a quick snap because people go to sleep with too much loads, too much load of information, and they go to sleep. What Babylon the Great is, it's just a brilliant idea. And
Revelation 17, the harlot and the beast roams judgment. An angel seized John's arm. Come, see the doom of Babylon, the great harlot. There she sat, purple-robed and jeweled, a golden cup brimming with abominations. Her name blazed, Mystery, Babylon, mother of harlots. Drunk on saints' blood, she rode a scarlet beast, 7 heads, world powers.
I want to say this because saints are nearly everybody in the universe. I want to say, and who's a true saint? We don't know. We don't know who's a true saint. Some saints are born on prayers, but there are saints all over. When you read that, Saint Margaret, Saint Mara, Saint Joseph, Saint Mary, Saint Magdalene shouldn't be really, Saint Teresa, Saint Michael, Saint Elizabeth, Saint Ruth, and on, Saint John, Saint Andrew, Saint Peter, Saint Luke, Saint God knows who else, but it goes on and on and on, and that on grace of God, he's not a saint. See, most people aren't saints. See, and Babylon gonna drink the saint. Can't drink my blood because I'm a reporter and I stick on that zone, and photographer I stick on. He gotta go for grace, and grace ain't a saint. You know what I mean? Babylon is great, but you gotta come in, you gotta study it up before you decide and say, oh, he's a Babylonian. Like That's it. That person is a Babylon. That's it. And this, because the Babylonians with Babylon the Great Harlot, he sits on the Lapatapa cat, Lapatapa cat. But I'm not going to say what I was showing you over over there, because that's got a leopard design too, and that's a child of light. And people will say, we want that design, but that's a sinners and scoffers. I booked it to sinners and scoffers because that's where Babylonians are booked. They're booked to sinners and scoffers. Simple as that. Simple as that. And you can have a big whinge on that, on the cross, a child of light, or somebody sitting there with a leopard, indigenous cheap shot shirt, leopard, with a leopard, Babylon the Great. That's not a cheap shot. That's a miracle design quest. Who gets it though? Who gets it? Sinners and scoffers are miracle, because that's ordered in Matthew chapter 6. Matthew chapter 1, I'm sorry to say, Matthew chapter 6 and Matthew chapter 1 with fattened prayers. That's a sinners and scoff. That's a sinners and scoff. See? And you know where they bleached Babylonian? They didn't study Babylonians up. They roasted to the Old Testament, or they say New Testament now, Revelation, just say. They rushed to the Revelation, one of the book of the Bible, Revelation, and might have a continued journey. Might have books, there's about 15 other books on Revelation, might. We don't know. But Paul still sit on it. And that Babylon the Great with the leopard cat, that's miraculously designed. That's miracle. You know what I mean? Miraculously designed. Miraculously designed. I just sit here, that's indigenous. I just sit here and look at it and I say, that's miracle. And a leopard at the cross, a Babylon the Great, gotta be, because Saint signed Calvary as well. Can't bleach Babylonian Great out of Calvary. That's a miracle deal, but only for the honest ones, that walk the faith. They gotta walk to Calvary. Oh, Magdalene, oh, Maggie, and Jesus keep on saying, oh, Maggie, Maggie didn't read the gospel. Or whoever writing with Magdalene didn't write the gospel properly. I know people are reading, like they're reading somebody on magazines or whatever. They're reading it in books, They read somebody's future, like probably happened in Egypt. They're reading, but I don't deal with that. I say, that's a real quest, Dempsey. That's a real quest. And you know what, Dempsey, you better believe it, Dempsey, because you're not reading about book, Dempsey, and reading about people, here. That's a sinners and scoffer, Dempsey, there.